Welcome back to UNX Fast Forward. I'm Chris DeGangi.
And I'm Ethan Swanson, and we are done with the first season, all the qualifiers of the UNX Championship Series. We're moving on to the third major, and we have 3 more men and 3 more women who have got their spot to that major.
Yeah, and so we're just out of Jungle Gym, an amazing course put together by Caleb Bergstrom that saw 0 finishers and a 3-minute and 15-second time limit.
Amazing. Amazingly difficult. It's crushing souls out there. But, I mean, Caleb and his dad, Jason, put together an amazing course. And on the men's side, it was insane. The depth of field was crazy. Let's get right into our results. We had to go down to the 6th place finisher to get our third qualifier, Sam Folsom.
Yeah, I mean, it was so impressive at the top. Athletes who have performed well, continue to perform well, had to go all the way down to 6th place. And Sam Folsom, my guy, sneaks into the third major.
Yeah, I mean, he's sitting in 10th place in the UNX season. We've talked about him a lot this season. He broke onto the radar and has been crushing it. But he sneaks in. Honestly, it all came down to this moment. You know, he was 2 minutes and 18 seconds through the missiles, couldn't catch that first catch on that last obstacle. I think we're going to be seeing that a lot as we go through our recap here, but that's enough for him to qualify for that third major.
Yeah, and so he gets in, and then, you know, in 5th place, we had Max Feinberg, who's already qualified, and so he doesn't take a spot.
Right, and he got through the missiles less than a second faster than Sam. So, I mean, the big cutoff was getting through the missiles quick enough to lock in the qualifying spot. And somebody else who did that, David Wright, taking 4th place, but our second qualifying spot, getting through the missiles in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So just, you know, a few seconds ahead.
Yeah, and then in 3rd place, we had Drew Dreschel, so close on that last obstacle. Kind of went for a different strategy, and didn't work out for him, but he was looking good.
I wish we would have seen him go. I mean, it's Drew. He's going to try different things, but I wish we would have seen him try the standard just launch strategy, because I think he would have completed the entire course if he would have done it the standard way, but easier said than done.
I think you're right, but if he had made that work, we all would have sat here and said, oh, he's so smart and amazing. Unfortunately, it didn't work out this time, but...
He's still pretty amazing.
Oh,
he's taking third place. He's already qualified, gearing up for the third major. But our first qualifier in 2nd place, Nick Forney, and I am so happy he's got a spot, especially after St. Louis missing out by 2 seconds, but he was actually the first one to touch the second set of the backlash.
Yeah, I mean, so impressive. And like you said, he finished in St. Louis, but 2 seconds over the time limit. So it just shows like he's competing consistently, and now he takes a spot.
But that first place spot, once again, Caden Lebsack. We know he's already qualified. And man, he got further. He made more catches on backlash than anybody else, setting himself apart not only in time to get to that obstacle, but just, I mean, the completion percentage on this field of athletes, I can't believe it.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was so impressive, and we've seen it time and again with his course runs. I mean, you go back and watch some of the older runs that he's done. The kid is amazing. I mean, it's so hard to keep up with him.
One thing to watch out is he's sitting in 7th place right now in the UNX season, but there are some people behind him that are going to be fighting for one of those top 8 spots. You know, there is a chance he doesn't make the championship. I just can't imagine he doesn't make it, you know?
I mean, he would have to really make a mistake in the semifinals to not make it. I mean, I think if he gets to the finals, he has a really good shot. But we'll go over all those clinching scenarios in a different episode of UNX Fast Forward. But to recap, I mean, we got Nick Forney, David Wright, and Sam Folsom qualifying here from Jungle Gym.
Right, our 3 men's athletes making their way to the third major. And on the women's side, taking 3rd place and 3rd qualifying spot goes to Caitlin Bergstrom, making her way to the majors for the first time. So excited to see her make it.
I'm so excited, and finally, you know, we saw her compete, you know, at a level that I think we've all been expecting. You know, didn't make any mistakes. You know, that obstacle, the trampoline jump, was so big for a lot of the women competitors, but I thought the way that she got there, the speed in which she got there, that's what I expect from Caitlin.
And the 2nd qualifying athlete, I'm so excited that she's coming back. She's sitting in 3rd place UNX season, Elena Bohr.
Yeah, I mean, the other women competitors better take note. Elena Bohr is coming back to the third major, and she's somebody that competes so consistently, always towards the top, somebody to watch out for.
No kidding. And Ashley McConville taking 1st place at her home gym. I think it's a little bit expected for her to do so. And, you know, she also missed that trampoline. So, I mean, no women made it past that trampoline jump, but Ashley getting there faster than anybody else.
Yeah, and Ashley definitely in an interesting position. She's got some points on the season, didn't do as well in the second major that she would have liked, but certainly if you're towards the bottom in the season standings, you better be watching out for Ashley.
No kidding. I'm so excited. But interesting is all three of these women in free time got that trampoline jump like no problem. And first try.
It always happens that way.
It always happens that way. And I wish we could have seen them on the undercling and further in the course, because I think they could have done some special things. But they're making their way to the third major.
Yeah, and we had some close calls in this competition. Just some awesome moments. So we're going to dive into our close calls.
And unfortunately, the first of which, Eva Colasanti, missing out by qualifying by 1 spot, and she missed qualifying by 2 seconds. 2 seconds behind qualifying spot getting to that trampoline.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Eva Colasanti she's such a fast athlete, but unfortunately couldn't put it together in this one.
Well, it's a tough competition, and not only our top 3 qualifying athletes, but other athletes that were there. It's pushing these women to compete at a higher level, and Ava's right there. You know?
Yeah, I mean, she's right there, and certainly in season 2 and in other leagues, NNLs, UNAAs, AWGs, like, she is going to be somebody to keep an eye on.
For sure. Another close call. Matt Hall was the first person to not qualify in the men's side. He missed out by 1.5 seconds, which is like, that's a backswing. That's like a breath before you start an obstacle, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's really tough. Just thinking about what you could have done better, what you could have done a little bit faster, not taking a rest here or there, it's a tough spot to be in.
And the last close call, unfortunately, I was hoping he would make it to the major. Hunter Gerard, we saw him on Backlash make a huge catch. He was a great spot, but over-grabbed all the way over the top. And then he dropped down, but then he kind of disqualified himself. He knew he misgrabbed.
Yeah, I mean, he knew it right away. You could see him, and, we definitely commended him on his integrity there to call himself out, and he knew he grabbed the wrong spot.
Yeah, I talked to him afterwards, and I was like, what happened? He's like, you know what? I grabbed it. I was like, hey, this is a really good hold. He's like, oh, wait, this is not where I'm supposed to grab. But it all happened so fast, Unfortunately, that was the end for him, and end of his UNX season, stopping him in 12th place.
But that obstacle, so much is happening there. You're going to such a small grab, and it's dropping on you, and it's a blind catch.
A lot happening.
It's a lot going on in that situation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But not only just close calls, but shocking falls, and unfortunately, the first of which we have to mention, Jake Murray.
Yeah, Jake Murray, I definitely, he's sitting in first place on the season, and just I don't know what happened in that situation.
I talked to him afterwards, and he said, he'd seen some athletes kind of spend their, a lot of swings, they slide back, and he hit the end. He's like, you know what, I can't go right away. So he took one backswing and went, and he's like, I'm not going to waste my time. And, I really appreciate that mindset. Is like, if you want to qualify here, we saw a lot of athletes get to the end but not do it quick enough or not have enough time to rest, and Jake knows it. He's thinking about that so early in the course, and unfortunately it didn't pay off for him here, but I think that mindset, I think it's great.
I mean, I respect it, but at the same time, just take one more extra swing. It's going to take a second or two to really dial in the dismount. I mean, it's such a finicky obstacle. I would have liked to see him give himself a chance, because honestly, Jake's one of those athletes that you look at that backlash that I really expect could make it through.
No, I mean, if he gets his fingers on those cliffhanger holds, he's holding out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just a little disappointing going out there, but at the same time, it's such a tricky obstacle. It's such a tricky dismount with a bar sliding back on you.
Yeah, we see that take out a lot of athletes, and Jake being one of them, unfortunately. But another huge shock, Anthony DeFranco falling really early in the course.
Yeah, I mean, you could see him. He was coming over the wall. He grabbed the ring, and he dropped down. I don't think he expected quite so much force to come down on his one hand, and he just peeled right off the ring.
Yeah, it was a huge shock. Anthony, one of the guys you expect to always get in the back half of courses and do it really efficient, and I think that efficiency, he just underestimated, like you're saying, how much of a drop that actually was.
And I think Anthony is one of the faster athletes, and I think that's just kind of a product of underestimating something, thinking you can kind of breeze your way through it and get through it fast, and you're focusing on efficiency and just kind of overlooking that drop.
Yeah, we saw that with Donovan Montoya in St. Louis, same kind of thing. But another shocking fall. Taylor Johnson, really strong athlete, gymnastic background. We didn't see any women get past that trampoline jump, and I was thinking she might be the first one to do so, but she didn't get there. She just made a slip on the second obstacle.
Yeah, and that one was tough. It was hard to even go back and look at her run and see what exactly went wrong. Maybe just a little bit of hesitation, but her foot just completely slipped.
And another big shocker for me, Connor Galvin. I feel like he's been in this category for a couple times now, unfortunately, and we all know he's very capable, but he hasn't been able to put together a consistent run and get himself to the last couple obstacles.
Yeah, I mean, Connor's the type of athlete, when he turns it on, when he really puts together that run, everyone's going to watch it, and it's going to look flawless, and that's just the kind of athlete he is. But unfortunately, like you said, in recent competitions, it hasn't all added up for him. There's been tiny mistakes here and there, and yeah, I mean, just a little disappointing end of the season for Connor.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much action from this qualifier. There's so many big-name athletes and other athletes that are super strong, that are making names for themselves. And we want to go through so much more action, and we're going to do that when we come back on Wednesday for Fast Forward, talk about Ninja Killers, stats, all this other stuff.
Yeah, so make sure you guys check it out, UNX Fast Forward. I'm Chris DeGangi.
I'm Ethan Swanson. We will see you guys next time on UNX Fast Forward.